Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of the Undefeated podcast.
The only podcast, yeah, with two undefeated fighters, fam.
Chatting it up. Listen, guys, if this is your first time rocking with the pod, as always, welcome to the family. Take a seat, grab a drink. There's enough chairs here. Get comfy, yeah? If this is your first and last time listening, adios. And if this it ain't even your first time, but it's your last time, brother, what can we say? It's come to the end of the road.
It's been good.
It's been good. I don't even know if it's been good. It's been good.
What it's been. No, it's been good because at some point it might have been entertaining. At some point you said you've enjoyed this moment, but it's the end of the road. Proper Boys to mention. And you know, I'm glad that we've done that for you. You know, I would do the deep voice, but we got to talk about serious things. We got to talk about the barbershop energy, and there's no time for slow jams and R&B when we're talking about this real stuff. Are you with me, bro?
If this got too much for you, I hear that. Take care. Peace. But for everyone that's here, yo, let's enjoy. This is going to be a fun episode still. A lot of stuff to discuss, a lot of stuff to break down.
Yeah.
Bro, what's your tale of the tape, fam? Let's get it.
Come on, fam. 0-0, fam. Never fought, never lost. If I did, someone gets knocked out, but it's not me. Again, height, over 6 foot. I started the stem cell treatment recently, and it's looking crazy. Trav, I didn't want to say this to you. I didn't want to bring this up, but you're telling me about everything you was doing, and I said, you know what? I invited them to come and see me because, again, we talked about my speed I could be in movies and stuff, but since I started the stem cell treatment, bro, I've been seeing quick results. I'm doing things I've never done before. Mate, I'm 6'8". I'm 6'8". I'm 6'8".
Obviously, I'm happy for you, I'm saying, my guy, but there's an NDA that's been broken here, basically.
Well, listen, when I spoke
to Dr. Osman, I'm sorry, not Dr. Osman. I don't have any dealings with Dr. Osman. Whoa. I don't know why I said that.
You're an absolute disgrace.
It's no doctor in my camp at all, actually. It's just...
Yeah, there's no doctor in my camp as well, but I have been advised by somebody who is doctor, and it starts with a U. But again, that's neither here nor there with my situation. All I want to say is that you're never going to see the B sample. It's not going to be available. And yeah, I'm doing things I've never done before. So that's my tail of the tape, mate. No one wants to see me in the ring. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. Okay. Boxing Board of Control probably will not commission me fighting in the finger of boxing. Why is what it is. It is what it is. Talk to me, bro. What's your tail of the tape?
Flip me, mate. Perfect record. Do you know what I mean? 2-0, 50% knockout rate. Yeah. Half of the men that entered the ring with me, bro, they left via airlift. So, you know, it's a very serious business when you're in there with me. You know, my height, I stand there officially taller than KG.
At the moment, sorry, that's actually being debated. There's a dispute on that one since my stem cell treatment.
I'm 7'3" now, so we haven't spoken in a while. So yeah, but it's all good though. I still am within the light heavyweight division. So you know, it's gonna look a little different for anyone that's used to seeing me out there, you know, on the big nights. But I'm still as effective.
Okay.
My weight, as I say, light heavy, but it does fluctuate to heavy quite rapidly. It's different. That's one of the side effects of the stem cell treatment. Obviously, I didn't use the steroid versions that you used. Obviously, I spoke to Dr. Osman.
No, that's not.
The doctor who was on site when we were trying out this research, and he basically said that if I wanted steroids, I could use them, but I said no, I want to go through the clean stem cell route. You know, I've actually tried to incorporate different styles into my boxing. Yeah, you know, I like to experiment. So, you know, right now 7'3", 8'7" wingspan. It's very interesting how I look in the ring. It does look like a praying mantis in human form, but it's one of those things where now what I've done is Wing Chun. That's one of those martial arts.
Oh wow!
You know, sometimes you watch. Yeah, it's a very compact art, and I've managed to find a way to do that in boxing. So basically, what I'm able to do, you know, like the 1-inch punch. I've been getting people the hell out of here with a 1-inch punch in boxing gloves. So I had, put it this way, bro, I had 29 rounds of sparring, right, last weekend. Each opponent lasted 7 seconds. because I've got to get into range. We've got to get to the middle of the ring, and they start running because obviously I'm freakishly tall. So it's like once we're in there, and then boom, there we go. It's like a shotgun that's been just fired in the ring.
Damn, you know what? I have a lot of respect for your power, and I'll be looking into that. Just so it's fair and it's a clear ground for everybody in boxing, because we need a clean sport. That's
a bad sign off.
Already, let's say we want a clean sport, bro. But yeah, listen, it's time. Let's get into it. There's so much going on in boxing. I think we should start with the. Where do you want to go with this one? Because we could go Deontay.
You know what? I'll tell you where we should start.
We're
going to start and clear this up. We've been meaning to speak about this for a couple of weeks, and some guys in the comments really trying to make a big deal out of this. So we're going to talk about Dillian Whyte's B sample.
Yes.
Last couple of weeks we brought that up.
Yeah. Because I've been bringing it up, and you've been looking like you're avoiding the smoke.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I wanted you to do your reading as well, because I've done mine.
It's fully not. So basically, Dillian Whyte was cleared of any wrongdoing by UKAD. Despite any, but despite obviously the first failed test, they've basically decided that. Let me even read it so I don't, misspeak. But basically, they've announced. No, I've got it here. Having rigorously scrutinized and investigated the detailed factual and scientific evidence provided by Mr. Whyte, UKAD is satisfied that the presence of the very low amounts of metabolites in his 20th of June 2019 sample was not caused by any fault, negligence, or wrongdoing on Mr. Whyte's part. Given the circumstance, this could not have affected the fight between him and Rivas. They said the test was as consistent with an isolated contamination event.
So for people that don't know as well, even if you think a bit more, what do you call it? I think John Jones has been busted many times for cheating and stuff in the past, right? He's a UFC fighter. And then after basically what was coming up is in the previous things he's done, right? You call it a pico amount. It's a tiny amount. It's not the same as before, but it's tests are going to be flawed, right? What it's sounding like with thing. I don't know how this, whatever that thing got into his system, but it's there, but not enough to say you cheated, not enough to say, and that's why it's cleared by UKAD, and that's why he didn't get the long ban. They had to work things out. I don't know if he took them to court, because the way it was.
If they cleared it, there's no way they would have banned him as well.
Yeah, and it's very rare for them to speak out and say, because they don't have to. UKAD don't have to do what they did. Because you know what, but they made sure they came out and said, listen, this is why, because I remember it came out in the news. Remember there was that thing when Eddie Hearn had some issues in America, and some American reporter released it, and we was in this whole madness. And I think what's a shame is the offense is not as loud as the apology, because it was highlighted when he did what he did and was all saying, where's the B sample? Where's the B sample? Where's the B sample? Only to find out that he's been cleared. But I don't think in the boxing industry or in the community, a lot of people understand what's happened. They just see, well, when we talk about cheaters, you add his name to the pack. When his name probably shouldn't be there. Certain people are left out. I'll just say certain people are not even spoken about when you talk about cheating, but Dillian's name will come in, and it's like it's wrong, because he was officially cleared by UKAD.
I gotta say, when you're saying that a lot of people don't know, there's truth to that. Is I did not know when we potted that last couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
I had no idea that this was the outcome.
Yeah,
and that's saying something for people who are like, bro, we're watching boxing every week. We're paying attention to the stories, the developing updates. So yeah. The apology needs to be a bit louder if it's a thing where they're satisfied enough to clear him of any wrongdoing.
Yeah, and again, Rivas was a victim of this whole thing as well, because he didn't get to see. Go ahead.
Where Rivas is still now, and it's one of those moments that does highlight a misstep in how to handle these situations. That the fight shouldn't have gone ahead. The fight should have been postponed. That's what should have happened, and what should happen in those cases when these things come up in boxing. So I think that's the learning part is there. Do you know what I mean? And obviously with Conor Benn and Eubank, controversy is there, but the fight ultimately didn't go ahead. So you know what I mean? As much as we can speculate and say, yeah, they tried to make it, it's like, well, yeah, I hear that, and very true, and that shouldn't be messed up. But it didn't go ahead. So if we can make that a policy now, where there is a finding or something that's wrong, until we know for sure what the deal is, we can't be looking at getting a fight over the line in that weekend.
Oh, 100%. That's just got to be the way we move forward, you know, because again, boxing does need to clean up its act. I've been waiting again. It's very quiet on the Conor Ben side. I've been waiting. It's incredibly quiet. Again, if you came to our barbershop right now and we're saying, but what go on for Conor? Because this thing happened weeks ago. All now, yeah. Savannah Marshall's called someone else a quote. Lara's scaring people. Like, there's a lot of things happening in boxing. Things have moved forward. Again, Fury's gonna record a new Christmas #1. It's crazy. A lot of things have moved on while we're waiting for an update. Because we were told, I'll never forget, we were told, listen, what you guys will be like embarrassed about, you know,
once you find out.
Soon, right? But then what's happened is he said, you know what, let's just wait for it to die down. Because really, what's clever in this game is the story moves on, the news cycle moves on, and this is no longer important. Just like that. The only thing that is happening though is Senior is coming out and really at a defense of Conor.
It's interesting, isn't it? And
really
it's like
interesting, especially saying these people tried to kill my son. But what about like the person that was actually gonna be wearing with the weapon? Right now, I say, "Rah, you lot tried to kill my son," but they gave him the weapons. It makes
you know what it is. You know what it is. It's one of those things where he looks at Conor like one of his boys. In a weird type of elder way, where it's like he looks at Nigel, right? I don't think there's any malice between them today. I used to think there was still some needle there. If there is any needle, I'm gonna just come out and say I think it's all from Nigel. If there is,
no, they died on a tour. Remember, they went on a tour together.
No, I hear you, but I'm just saying if there is, it would be from him only because of the fact that, you know, he would have wanted that win at some point. Anyway, that aside, like, them two have a relationship which is a bit more mature. Like, I imagine Eubank looks at him like family almost.
You could be my
yeah, it could, and that could be my boy there. So your boy is my boy. So when he's talking to Conor at the press conference all those years ago and saying that Nigel should be there, and then Conor flipped out, who are you to tell me what I should be doing? Like, that was the early stage. That was like a misstep, but it's also from a thing where it's like, I feel like I'm family. I feel like I should be able to give you advice as an elder.
Yeah.
So from when he's talking about it now, he's like, he's on that, you know, he didn't mean that. He didn't mean to do that. It's the people looking after him that misled him, this young, impressionable mind. It's that one. And
when do you become responsible for your thing though? When do you become because I keep hearing these, and just to even we're getting off course just a little bit, but it's okay, right? You've been hearing and fathers have been a big part of this thing, right? I don't know if you've seen the 50 Cent situation with his son and stuff. And the son saying, wild. You know what? It's wild. Because now you talk about it, that kid is 25 years old. He's 25, and it's like, you hear what he's saying, but you're like, bro, you're a man. You're supposed to be. So what age do you? Because when they talk about Conor, just to bring it back to boxing, when they talk about Conor, they're making it sound how it's sounding outside to everybody else is he's still too young to know everything that's going on. Do you subscribe to that? Because even let's be fair, I don't know how old Chris Eubank Jr. is, but he's made some
33.
And some of his decisions clearly needed a father and needed guidance because he still signed a very mad contract. And even at many times, so it's like, what age do you now say, well, you're a full adult, you don't need my help within your career? Is a kind of question that I'm posing to us now, because it keeps rearing itself. You knew that Eubank Senior was pissed off early. He's been upset for time. Conor Ben has done his career probably pretty much without his father, and something's happened. Yeah. And then you get like a Devin Haney, his dad is gonna cross the Atlantic to make sure that he's there for his son. Like, I don't understand what is the correct way, correct dealings.
No, the thing is, there is no correct way, and you got to remember, every one of their situations. These three are completely three different examples here.
Yes,
right. So you have Eubank Jr., who was completely under the tutelage of his dad, locked in, didn't even speak in interviews, just da 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 da. He's now, I believe, from my outside looking in, ignorant perspective, is he's not happy with the results of following you. Like, I'm not happy with where I am as a result of this. So now I'm doing my own man thing from here on out. If you want to come, as I'm calling the shots, come through. Hence why I'm inviting you to be in my corner for the fight. If not, then scan ahead. Scan ahead, and everything's happening my way. Conor Ben, Nigel says,
but
son, learn the game.
So wait 1 second. We have to acknowledge the danger, though. So while he's done that, and he said he didn't like the way of the route of following you, that for the first time, we said that he was in a very dangerous situation for himself in terms of incredible weight loss and signing the maddest of contracts.
Yeah, but also, you know, the background of that, I listened to a Stephen Bartlett interview, and he starts talking about how, you know, one of the biggest regrets is, you know, with his brother. And for me, that stood out to me, and it might not be linked in anywhere at all. But, you know, the last time he would have seen him, they were both in Dubai at the same time, but he didn't say anything. And he referenced the fact that would have been the last time he would have got to see his brother. He said that, for me, told me never to take an opportunity for granted, never to take this for granted. So here he is now, and when he says, why not? When they say to him, why now? Why couldn't this wait? He goes, well, anything can happen. Anything can happen to get in the way of this. So for me, because those two lines sounded similar from those, so
we need that situation.
I can see how Junior, but I can also see a world where Junior looks at it and says, don't worry about me. I will be fine. It looks bad. Cool. It looks nuts. I can do this. He's that type of person as well. He's hard-headed if he believes
even with a banned substance in the system.
So, even then, he was still happy to go ahead in this fight. This is a man that has not been knocked out. We ain't seen Junior legless. He's not thinking Conor can do him nothing. That's why he's like, just whatever terms that make you look happy, I'm gonna smoke you regardless. He's there mentally.
Can we now say that's a bad? I'm going to move on, but can we now say that was a bad decision that he made?
We don't know that because we didn't see the fight. He might have still won the fight, even though he looked bad on the scales. Devin Haney looked like a ghost, and he went in there and just put hands all over Kambosos.
Yeah, out of all.
So Conor Ben, Dad says, fly from the nest, son. You're gonna have to do things over there. I'm not gonna hold your hand through all of this. You go over there and you do this thing. I'll come and show up for the big fights. Of course, I'll be there because I love my son, but I'm not holding your hand through this whole thing. We see Conor developing. He's in, he's in a good business situation. He's starting to develop. He's coming on strong. Superstardom is just knocking on the door. Superstardom. Cool. That's a different situation. Different relationship with his dad. Still tight, but there's a distance there. That's a healthy. You look at that one and say that's more healthy.
Yeah.
Bill Haney, Devin Haney, their relationship is like best friends.
Yeah.
That's probably the relationship Chris Eubank Jr. and Senior probably foresaw for the duration of their thing.
Yeah.
You understand? But the difference is Bill Haney, as far as I know, didn't box. So he doesn't have that thing of needing the limelight and needing to be at the front. I don't know that for sure.
Well, he naturally takes it though.
But no, he doesn't take it though. He doesn't take it away from him.
But he's maybe can say he enhances it, but
that's what I'm saying.
Want to hear more times, if I'm being honest, I kind of more want to hear from Bill than
but that doesn't. But this is what I'm saying. It doesn't take away. It's like what AJ did and Hearn did. Hearn and was his mouthpiece. Him being his mouthpiece is not being my own mouthpiece. Whereas the difference is Eubank Senior had his own walk-in, his own intro for the fight when my man was on ITV Sport. So there's a conflict of interest if I still need to be at the front.
And then after, and while this guy's not a father, but I think there's some similarities here as well. You looked at Gervonta Davis's relationship with Floyd, right? And while he's not his dad, you could tell that Gervonta has really looked up to Floyd on this whole journey. Floyd's been a big part of Gervonta's rise to fame. But now you see like it's almost like a clashing because Floyd couldn't get out of Gervonta's way at all. But now you're saying to yourself, Gervonta Davis's career is now feeling a bit Eubank-ish because you're saying to yourself, big man, Why are you behind him for so long? You've wasted time, and now we don't even. You want to do your own thing, but you can't even lead the nest. You're 1 foot's in, next minute's out. 1 foot, you're like, yeah, bun this lot, bun this team. Then you're on the team. You don't know where you stand, and all that we're losing now is time. All that we're missing is a big amount of time, because again, it's so crazy, and he's a bigger man. So it's like the key thing is probably you need a father with sound. You need someone that's playing the fatherhood role, the coach role, with sound advice. I think that's needed your whole career. I don't think you can still make these smart boxing decisions, because a lot's going to come that you don't look at, and you can put yourself at risk in many situations. The
thing is though, you can't learn from being protected like this. You can't learn from being sheltered. Like that's the double-edged sword of this thing called life, bro. Like, the men are going to have to experience the wins as well as the losses, so they know how to navigate and avoid the losses and enjoy more wins. That's it. And that's the part that parents struggle with, especially parents who felt the pain of the world you're in.
Yes.
You understand? And that's it. Like, I don't need to bring up more examples of how my mom and stuff, the similarities I relate to. It's the same. It's the same, but they have to back off at some point and say, well, you got to be able to fly, innit? Because I'm not going to be here forever. And that's the part of this part where senior can't say they tried to do this they tried to murder my boy when he was complicit in the negotiations. He signed off on the final thing. Your boy made a mistake. There's a fundamental issue with what he was able to see in that situation. So what you can say is he's not got much wisdom and experience at a negotiation table. And he acted out of maybe emotion. There's a lot of unrest in the family that, you know, I don't feel like we need to speak about, but they've been through a lot recent years. Do you see what I'm saying? So there's a lot going on, and it's bigger than boxing on that side. I feel
100%, man. Listen, it's an interesting one. I like where we went with that one, because I didn't even expect it. Are you with me? But just to keep things moving, I don't know who's had the argument or who came out with a statement about boxers having an inflated view of themselves and their value. Who was that? Where did you see that article or something?
Yeah, so what do you call it? So Eddie Hearn, he's basically saying that to the general world, Spence and Crawford is not as big as you think it is, right? And what we're starting to see,
personally, but your personal.
Okay.
Before we get into
I concede the argument for that being the case. Like, do I believe that I'm going to walk past some casuals on the street debating Errol Spence and Crawford? Absolutely not. I don't know the temperature of that fight in America. I believe it could be a big fight out there.
It's massive. I think it's massive in America.
The problem is
we don't know, because those are our brothers from across the pond and stuff. But
the problem is, when we're so heavy involved in boxing, stuff that feels magnanimous to us might not even pass the interest of a casual person who likes a bunch of different sports. You understand? And you got to say, okay, so who's the bigger draw in this thing? Like, who's the money guy?
Errol's the bigger draw. Errol feels to me as if I don't know if it's marketing, but he does feel to me as if the way because Bob Arum, when you get a promoter that says, I can't promote someone, it kind of tells me, well, you're not. I've listened to your own promoter tell me you're not a big draw. And it's wrong, because he is a big draw, but I can't take them statements out of my head. If your promoter says, I've lost money trying to promote you, it's hurt me more being your promoter. If I hear a promoter say that is alarming. So I can't turn that off, but carry on. But then, according to some people, again, Lennox and all these different people have let us know that, well, it's different. Like, he gets paid. He gets paid, but you could get paid and not be a big draw.
Yeah, because if you sign a contract that's bad for whoever pays you, like they're losing money, you're still getting your money. So you're going around saying this is my guarantee. And everyone, like, on that side, they're like, bro, I lost peas paying him that, so that ain't coming back. And they're looking and thinking, but I don't really see how that's your money. It don't make sense. And this is what's creating the problem. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like that's not a travesty on someone like Terence Crawford being the greatest boxer he is. But unfortunately, superstardom doesn't shine on everybody like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Now, my thing is, I don't know how big of a star Errol Spence is, Do you know what I'm saying? Because what level of star are we grading him on? Are we saying he's the American AJ Canelo? So when we speak in this conversation, we say Canelo, AJ, and Errol Spence. I don't know that we do that. Do you understand? So
since I've just
maybe
typed in something for you, just in case. Crawford's purser for the fight was 1.3 million. Postal earned 675,000 for his part. Some sources state the fight generated 50,000 pay-per-view buys on HBO. I'm just looking at just what he's making on. I'm just looking at pay-per-view numbers.
Try and find the what he got paid against Kell Brook, because this is the problem, right? So this is the problem. Okay, this is the first thing. Trying to work out what's listed as their payment, right?
Yeah.
And then obviously that's their price going forward, and that's what they negotiate at the table. But let's look at Kambosos, right? Kambosos right now is in a lawsuit with his old manager, right? Peter Khan, I believe is his name. Let me get that up just to be sure, so I don't be saying man's name wrong. Yeah, former trainer.
Okay, cool, carry on.
Sorry, yeah. So he's in a lawsuit right now with his former trainer. I think it's Peter Khan. Yeah, that's right, Peter Khan. And basically, the situation is this. He got him the I believe, a fight before the Haney fight, and he got him the Haney fight, right? His arrangement is 10%. That's it. I just want 10%, and that's the thing, right? So in this, the first fight's happened. Obviously, we've seen a rematch. In between the first fight and the rematch, you know, Kambosos and them guys are like, look, we're gonna do our thing ourselves, innit? So thank you for everything. Take care. He's like, cool, no worries. Then just let me get my money, and that'll be that. He's not paying him his money, so now he's filing a lawsuit. Now, what was interesting in the documents that were available online, I was just on the Google search. They're saying it was listed that he got paid 10 mil. But on the document, we're seeing figures around 3.5 mil. So, and then we're like back in money, another 1 mil, and the pay-per-view and the ticket sales and all that kind of stuff, another 1.5 mil. So I'm like, so where's this 10? Where's the 10? There is no 10. That means whilst you get to go out and say my price is 10, it's like, I remember back in the day, bro, when gigs was, you know what I mean, doing stand-up shows, I was out here almost every other night working, bro. Certain promoters would be like, yo, bro, I'm trying to book you for this fee, right? About to tell a trade secret here. Same thing as Kambosos would have done.
Yeah,
bro, I want to book you for this. Bro, honestly, I can't accept that, man. Please, man, because we're cool. I'm like, all right, run it. But if another promoter asks you what I got paid, this is what you say. So that you can have the benefit of this agreement, but I don't want man to be out there thinking that's my price.
Yeah. So
Kambosos gets to walk around and say 10 mil, but then man, they was able to take a 3.5 mil. Yeah, love, bro. Appreciate that. 10 mil is the price. No one should ever speak against that. But this legal document, you can't lie in those. So now that's been exposed. So when we start talking about this bubble of value that boxers can just throw out, then it's like, okay, is this crumbling? Because a lot of the talk that I'm seeing on in regards to the situation with Crawford and Spence is that PBC are like, we're not paying that. I'm not paying that.
I've got some numbers for you, bro. So I just looked at Terence Crawford versus Kell Brook here. Remember that fight was behind closed doors, right?
Yeah.
And then after this pay-per-view only, bro. Terence Crawford, $3 million. Kell Brook took 1.5. It was a 60-40 split.
Okay.
So again, like these man, while they're saying, and yeah, it was less than what do you make on the what do you make on? I'm just trying to find what he made for Khan. There you go, $5 million less than what he took for Khan, right? But you're not. And that's Amir Khan. Again, Amir Khan is
a name.
He's a pay-per-view star as well. No matter what you can say about his chin and that, he bought an audience. He locked in with audience, and they came on a journey with him. He's a real name, and it's someone that you want to fight because he's gonna put bums on seats. A lot of these men are not bums on seats, guys. And then without Amir Khan, your value, how's it gone down? Like, that's crazy. It's insane. So now we got to look at these fighters and say, a lot of you are not who you think you are in this thing. And because you're seeing it like this, you're actually hurting the sport. A lot of you fighters are not, you're actually absolutely not what you believe you are, and you're really hurting the sport because fights are not going to happen. And with you not fighting, it's just inactivity and then boredom. We're sitting there saying, so you can't even make the big fights, which can't get the excitement going. Again, all the fights that we talk about are just fantasy ones. And they shouldn't be fantasy because all these fighters are available to fight now.
But the thing is, so my thing is that it's not necessarily that they're not who they say they are, but it's that everybody isn't who they say they are. There are the few, they are that. They are that. Their numbers come, no matter who they're up against, their numbers are there. You understand? That's why it's the same names that come up. People always start these money conversations with Canelo, and then it's AJ. You understand? Because like if you look at, say, Usyk, the Usyk fight, I did 1.2 mil.
Yeah.
Like, man are like, rah. Because he's coming off of the loss in the fight. But that's what happens with money fighters. People show up to see these men go because they're the spectacle. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like I look at this. So now it's a thing where those who are, they want to be that position. It's got to be for real because we're seeing that, money's getting tight as a society, right? Don't think that these guys are completely above that.
Austerity.
So now these men are looking at it like, well, I can't just throw stupid money at this thing no more. I need to see something coming back. So everybody's going to be under scrutiny. Do you know what I'm saying? Like another one, and surprise, surprise, Tyson Fury is another one. He signed a great deal with ESPN, right? And the situation now is if he can't get back to America, I believe, Bob Arum stays involved in Tyson Fury business for the rest of his career. And there's extenuating circumstances that might be responsible for why Fury can't go to America anymore, right? But he's here now. And Bob Arum is involved, and that's it.
That's why Sugar Hill's flown in as well because he got trained. Because Tyson was doing all his training out there at Crunk Gym. They said, "Bring the Crunk Gym to me." Okay,
exactly. So, but you look at Tyson Fury's numbers, right? When you see the list of the biggest pay-per-views in the UK, he's not on there once, right? Versus AJ, who's on there like four times. Now, for me, I look at that and I'm like, these are the numbers people speak about when they say about being the cash cow and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, Fury, the reason why I'm mentioning Fury is because of that ESPN deal that he signed, which guarantees him a certain amount, I think it was per fight. Now, that's going to be under pressure to bring in numbers. Do you understand? A lot of fighters who want that position or they're claiming for it, it's not going to be as simple as beat this guy and now you're the guy. No. They're going to be, the numbers are going to start having to matter. So I think it's a good reality check because realistically, boxing is starting to feel like Bitcoin then. If it's a thing where it's like, right, this thing is rising. Oh my days, it's kind of amazing. And then it's like, burst. Some man's money is really, it's not coming. It's not going to recover. You know what I mean? It's not going to recover on the dip. So my thing is, I don't want boxing to go on this significant dip where it's a tragic circumstance. All it is that everybody has to get real. Do you know what I mean? Like
you have to, and this is I know you hate this. I know you hate this, but I know the UFC model is trash at times in terms of fighters not getting paid. But you see that free-to-air thing and regular fights, and learning these characters, and then now saying, I'm gonna give you money. I'm gonna pay money because I'm a fan of you, right? Some guys are just saying, I'm pay-per-view. No, you're not. What have you done? Where's our journey for me to say I'm gonna take out £20 and whenever you fight, I'm gonna pay that money, $19.99, and that money, don't get twisted, pay-per-view money has been increasing, £23, £25, it's going up, and you say, bro, you're not even worth this £25. So now we just have to be realistic and say, look, if we look at this situation, which means boxers are probably gonna have to get paid less now, but to win later, because now you stack up the cards. Those are events, those are fights that I must watch because it hurts the fighters when you have a superstar final fight, but then the card is rubbish. It doesn't. It's not beneficial to anybody. So now we got to say, look, well, maybe the bigger fighters probably could give a piece more of the pie. They have to share the pie because what we're doing right now is we're actually hurting boxing. Boxing is not. You now thinking the names. The next name that was branded or tipped to be the next guy was Conor Benn. Please believe that. Conor Benn was becoming that new pay-per-view guy. Yes, the other guys are old. Dillian is a pay-per-view fighter, right? He's got a fight against AJ probably coming up. They're saying potentially Jan. But then so you got AJ Dillian, Chizora's a kind of 20-pound. Yeah, you might
Chisora is probably one of the guys who've good numbers in this place.
Yeah, like, Chisora, because he's got following. But we've been following his story for a long time. So it's like, oh, Derek Chisora, let's go down there and we're gonna watch this guy fight. But now you start to, when you think of the names, now you're starting to get to yourself and say, whoa, who else is Canelo selling out? Who else though? Who else? Because I remember watching the Lara fight. I watched the Lara fight the other day. It weren't packed. It weren't.
What was that? That was in Mexico, isn't it?
Yeah, but you're at home, bro. It looked sparse. It looked a bit sparse. Yeah. He's phenomenal.
He's a top level
phenomenal
B-side. He's a top level B-side. So he's someone that will come in as the favorite against a Warrington, but it's gonna be big over here. Baumgardner is another one. As in over here, it happens here. Do you understand? So when we start speaking about, say, the UK numbers, it means a lot because there's some fighters who are going to have to relocate in order to prosper in the sport. Clarissa Shields, after that display and what she's done now, you build up another opponent profile-wise, and you could have a pay-per-view. I say you could. I had to say it twice because still very much early. But you know what I'm saying. But what's interesting, right?
Against a lot more different variables, though. In women's boxing, there's so many other variables because it's not a stacked division. Yeah, carry on.
That's right. But also, what I find interesting, right, is Katie Taylor is still very separate to when, say, like a night like that happens, because Katie Taylor's been separate for so long. I think there is that thing of for Katie Taylor, because I remember Eddie Hearn did an interview and he was like, yeah, I tried to do like a International Women's Month thing and do a whole women's card. And she was like, what? No, just do a normal card. Like, why are you doing all that for? Like, just do a normal card. And I was looking at that versus what the energy was like on the Clarissa Shields and the Baumgardner kind of, Mikel Mayer and Savannah Marshall night. And it was very much like, with them, there's a unity that kind of rang through.
Yeah.
Whereas with Katie Taylor, it's seeming like, why aren't you trying to do that? Not necessarily that you're sinister.
I know why.
It's not a sinister one, though. I just want to understand.
No, I know why. This is what happened. You have to understand Katie's journey in this boxing thing. You have to understand, every time Katie was out there, she was fighting on an AJ card. Remember, Katie, it was every big A. Most of her fights, again, imagine performing in the Apollo, Hammersmith Apollo, every single time. Full. House is not almost full. House is full, and you're fighting. You're before the main fight. Not main event.
Not co-main, but you're close to the co.
You're close. You're real close. Like you're Campbell Hatton close. Like real close. You're close to the thing. Yeah, that is all you've known. And then after you've gone off the back of that and said, well, I'm on my own now, but we've always seen you next to greatness. It's like how we used to see a Coley. A Coley always next to greatness, next to AJ, really. Now, certain times you gotta say, well, it's your time now. Go on. And Katie was able to somehow manage to hold on to something, but she has a different understanding of things because she's gone a different route. The other people haven't been given. Other people didn't have the machine behind them like Katie had a machine.
So does that make their
He's had a different journey in this boxing scene with the women.
So does that make So does that make their 2 mil views much more? I mean, even though it already is higher than her,
it's much more.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, because now you're highlighting. I'm like, okay, interesting. She has had that kind of nice journey.
I'm telling you, not saying that, not to shit on the journey.
No. But to say, but when you compare it to a Savannah Marshall and Clarissa, that's a very organic, from nothing storyline that's driven us to this point.
Because I'm going to answer you the simple question. Who's Katie Taylor's extreme dance partner? Who's the person that you said, I need to see you fight? Or did she just keep bringing those girls that he brought in?
The only time is when you thought she lost.
I know, and
that probably like two or three times.
Yeah. But there's no one, there's no name. Remember that every fighter is linked to somebody where it brings up the I can't wait into this Savannah Marshall thing and
Serrano. It became Serrano very like before the
late. It was late.
It's late.
That's what I'm saying, and because the journey's different. Because you came to meet me in this space, and you understood. Well, kind of, there's some value here, but we're not they built up Serrano. But what we're talking about, there was years of this coming, and it was these two ladies themselves with a card filled, with women. And that's a different. And what would have been cool is obviously Katie was on that card. It would have been at least because the women got to bring this thing forward. But she's like, nah. And maybe I'd love to hear from women boxers and say, did you feel slighted by that? Because you're one of the biggest names. You should be there. You have to be there. Actually, there's no way. Like, we've moved the culture forward, and you're not there.
Not necessarily fight on the card, but be there.
Be there. Heavy, like as a present. Because they always play it back to all the women that come before them and this, that, and the other. It's an interesting one. You in the group chat, you could imagine what it sounds like. Bro, she didn't come. She wasn't even really like.
So you're saying there's potential in
I don't know.
You know the politics.
Again,
the politics of the game.
You know politics of the game. It's in comedy. It's in every space. We can't say that these guys are mean. Are you with me? You can't say these guys are mean, but it's interesting. But again, I can understand why she felt that way when her journey's been Matchroom, AJ. She's benefited from the machine. And let's not pretend that there's not a machine in this thing. Because Conor had the push. The machine is real. And the machine decides who's worthy. Ben Whitaker is gonna be he's gonna be a recipient of the machine, because you understand why to put your money behind that. Dubois was looking like he was going to be a recipient of the machine.
However, he didn't play his part. If he beat Joe Joyce,
it's over.
Would be hearing ridiculous.
They'll be talking about him like he's the new AJ or the new Bruno. That's how they would have lined him up. Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno, for real.
He just didn't play and that's why you have to give ratings to Katie Taylor. I give ratings to everyone that who've been given the machine and done what they needed to do with the machine. Are you with me? I rate so Katie Taylor, while she's been afforded that, she's won her fights to allow to say, listen, don't talk to me.
This one here, this pivot is for another episode, but I feel like the one person who I've seen have the machine and not use it is Boatsy, fam.
He hasn't had the
He's had the machine, bro.
We're not, bro. We're here, bro. You can't. We're here. We're not even. How do you say? Can you say? How can you say he's
Eddie and Matchroom is the machine, and this was Matchroom before. He was on there whilst they were on Sky Sports as well. That's when it was the platform. This is the place where the boxing's history is so deep. It was all of that. He had all of that. Yeah. And what I'm saying is, when I look at where Boatsy is now, and I'm like, there's a slip that took place.
No, the injuries has hurt. I would say more so injuries than because injury inactivity has hurt him, because he's Crawford-esque in terms of I don't talk much.
But in the ring,
he's Crawford-esque, but then in the ring, he's wild, right? Yeah. And you should say to yourself, a fighter like that, you have to give him the machine. He's talking more now. I did wish, because I think some of his philosophies are off. In terms of no one cares what I gotta say. Yeah. While that's interesting, because remember, Craig accused him of not saying how you feel in this thing.
Yeah.
And the issue with Boatsy is you said to yourself, well, we don't really know you. And in your time of inactivity, you've still been silent. So as far as we're concerned, you're not here. Like,
that's an interesting one when you say you don't know you. There is that feeling of like I don't feel like, as a fan, right? And I say as a fan because it's not like we're knowing man like that, but I don't feel like we've gotten to know any more about you from the beginning of your boxing career till now. Now, my thing is, that probably would be how you want it, because that's how it is, and there's no reason that you're doing stuff by accident. You didn't fall into this position. It's quite a calculated thing. The problem is, this world and this era we actually like to know our athletes. We like to know the people that
we
are
want to know everyone.
going to be.
Yeah.
We want to know you. Do you know what I'm saying? Even if it's not your daily ins and outs and your tweets and your updates and da-da-da-da-da, but it's the interviews. We want to see you. We want to have who is Joshua Boatsy without boxing gloves on? There isn't really a picture there. With Yard, you can kind of see it. With Craig Richards, you see it. Dan Aziz, you see it. And this is also examples where people, they haven't necessarily sat down and done the crazy in-depth 2-hour interview, but you've seen their stamps over time.
Let me be fair. Let me be fair.
Ben Whitaker. Look how much we know about Ben Whitaker.
Oh, no, we've seen him. No, but again, Ben has been prepared. Ben has been preparing to take over his whole career. He's like, so when you see characters like that, you say to yourself, well, this is, you didn't wake up one day and say, I'm going to do a madness. Like, that's been the plan. It's like you say, we've always had this intention. It's not a surprise. He's doing what he's doing now. It's again, his career is incredibly intentional. Now, where I'll say someone like Craig Richards, who's now been smart, he's taken some bigger fight, he's taken some wicked challenges. Buglioni, he took Boatsy. He's taken he's brought right names, but he's made sure to come and chat to the community. That's what he's done. He's made sure he's connected with the community. Maybe you say to yourself, I didn't connect with the community on IFL as much as I would have liked, but he's found the community in us. If we're being honest. So we can say, yeah, we know him more. Right, but in terms of on the main scale, because we're still we're still a small platform at the moment as it stands. But with our core community, he knows he's got a core in the great defeaters. That's one thing for sure. Yeah, and a lot of fighters be out here with no core, can't sell 50 tickets, can't shift 50 tickets because you're not involved. And then Yard, what Yard has, which is incredible, is again Adidas, Tunde Ajayi, like. And it looks good.
Like you look at it and say, yeah, that brand, I know that brand is
I know it. I love dream it, believe it, become it. You might not like slogans. It works.
You don't even chase the numbers to see. Let's see what you believe it. You just
it works.
See it and
it works. That even if they're using posters and that, lines in the camp is powerful. So even if people in the chat trying to throw your own slogan at you to laugh at you,
they still know the slogan.
What's everyone else doing? You know,
let anybody accidentally say "dream it, believe it, become it." Just casually in a conversation, straight away we know where that goes.
We know where it's come from. And again, as you said with Boatsy, and he has had the machine. I'll be with you and say, you know what? He's benefited from the machine, not used it correctly. Even now, the zone, he's like a big character of the zone, and you say to yourself, bruh,
statement time.
It's
mad because a win over Craig Richards is a big statement.
And it was silent.
And then it quickly goes back to just like he's not here. It's not,
And yes, he's showing up. Because I started seeing him. To be fair to him, he started showing up. He said, you know, I want Yard. I want these guys. He's showing up at fights and stuff. But there's got to be just, again,
there's something.
And unfortunately, I think he had the machine, but I think the machine quickly switched to Connor. That's what I'm saying. There was a moment when it shifted and said, "You're the guy, not anymore."
Okay. So you got the star machine, right? I don't think that stat machine was ever on him. But as far as the machine that backs the one guy in the division, yeah, that was gonna be his. But then Callum Smith emerged, right? And I say it was gonna be his because Craig Richard was still there floating about and tettering, and him having that fight with Bivol made people scratch their head and go, "Hang on a minute, what's happened here?" So that's why
he forced himself into contention because I think he fed him to the wolves. I think he fed him to the wolves and he built up his.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he survived it though. He still survived it, and that made everybody go, "Wait a minute, he almost won this. We got to take him seriously." Exactly. So then, if we're doing our own speculation here, all right, cool. Him and Boatsy, we got to see who's going to be who after this. They have that fight. It's a close one. Boatsy wins, but afterwards it's still very much up in the air because it's like. Boatsy wins, but whilst Craig lost, Craig's stock has gone up. And Boatsy's still in the same position as before. And Callum Smith is over there blasting man out.
Yeah.
Callum Smith already has the brand of being a world champ down at another weight. So now it seems like Callum Smith has slotted into first place.
Do you know what's mad about this conversation? We plan to talk about everything else. We plan to talk about everything, but we're here. It's so mad because you're right. Even as you talk about this thing, and unfortunately, because Bivol, like it or not, he's gonna have his fight on. He's gonna fight his fight. I think his fight's coming up soon, right? He's fighting Canelo. He's got Canelo dreams. Bivol has got full Canelo dreams. But Beterbiev is locked in. He's got his fight coming up, and then after it's Yard. Yeah.
No, he's fighting Yard. Yard is next.
Yeah, Yard is next. So now you say to yourself, well, what are we gonna do? We can't just wait around. Like, we gotta do something. We gotta do something of note, something of merit to push myself back into the mix. Because after this fight is finished, after Bivol probably, even if Bivol gives Canelo the work again, he's got to go see Beterbiev or whoever wins that one. They got to go see each other. And now you're not even close. Buatsi won't even be able to talk A-side talk. Because let's say Yard by some wild way beats Beterbiev. That's crazy. Yeah? I don't know. That's crazy. I don't know.
Just trying to imagine how mad I'd be going. Are you mad? Oh, my word.
My dog. Because I saw what you did before for Lyndon. This one here, oh, nah. You inject DNA, fam. You'll become more than your dog, fam. You'll become your family. You don't know my family, fam.
Come on, mate. That'd be insane.
Crazy. No, if Yard was to ever like, oh my, nah. Do you know how to tune into? The Fight Is Right. If they won it, because
well, to be fair, you think that's gonna be on? Them men are gonna be at the fight, bro. No, them men are gonna be at the fight.
Live and you think they're not gonna? You don't think Wilson is gonna be there? Master Knowledge is gonna be there.
He's gonna be there, but they're not going live, fam. It's not happening.
I told these pussies that we do this. These guys don't know. I told these pussies.
You little Gino. Shut up, man, you little Gino.
Now we're champions. And think you'll be there in glasses. There's no way they don't go live.
Spencer's IFL interview after that happened. Listen, I told Tun what, about 3 years ago to the day. I said, you'd be a champion, you know? Trust me.
Tun, Tunde just sitting with the glasses on.
And he just, Tunde just be standing like this. And that's true, Spence. And you know what? I remember that day when you said that.
When
Sunday doesn't Spence, you don't watch. She says watch.
I'm telling you, that would be as you said about the Eubank and stuff, yeah. And there's some people that you want to see hold titles because they rile up an audience in a mad way. Because there'll be haters. People will not be happy about that result, bro.
You know what the funny thing is? They'll be happy for Yard and hate the fact that Tunde is there.
I need to see it. You know what?
So
Yard has to be Beterbiev. Just for what we get after, yeah? We're going to get another level of celebration. I need to see it. It's when you say how exciting it'll be for Chris Eubank Jr. to walk around as a champion. You need to see what these people will look like with belts or with real accreditation.
Trust me, on top. Oh my gosh, bro.
Oh, man.
There'll be someone who just don't know how to act as well. They're just doing too much.
No, Buatsi, again, get to it. Buatsi, get to it. I think you need to call out. You're right when you say that. Like, unfortunately, there's been setbacks. There was a fight that was meant to happen. I think Frank won the purse bids and that, but some reason I think they didn't want to go through testing. Yeah. So he's been a victim of circumstance, a victim of injuries. It's been a stop-start career.
And what is going to change that is when the personality connects with the audience. You see what Eubank Jr. has just done?
Yeah.
Connected with the audience.
Perfectly.
Before that, he was that estranged, weirdo type guy who would just be slightly insensitive to fighters. Then man would lose and he'd be on Twitter, yo, hurry up and let's go, otherwise stop being a dick. And it's just like, yo, the guy just got smoked, bro. How you call it? Like he was that. Whereas now, 60%, baby.
Yeah, but he has to capitalize. You have to capitalize. He's got to do something very soon we got to get something because again, people will go back to normal. It's like that rapper that has a big song, goes to jail, bro. Come home and get busy, and you come home and you're like, raw, like we've been waiting for so long, like. When's it coming? And after he's like, it becomes the Detox album that Dr. Dre was dropping. We're never gonna hear it, fam. And now I don't care. So
I don't care.
Chris Eubank Jr. is in a beautiful space right now. He has to announce something. I think in the next two months.
Yeah,
he has to do something. He can't wait for the B sample. He's got to do something very soon, and something that will make the world sit up and take notice. I probably in my head, I think he could be waiting for the winner of Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva because he wants the peace. But even if he's the guy to knock out Jake Paul, it's still clever. No, if he's the guy to stop Jake Paul, it's clever because he's not going to sign the contract that says lie down when this guy or don't hurt him.
It's so
you
true.
know, even if he was to sign that contract, he's going to breach.
It's true. It's so true. Let him in there with him.
Let him in there with him. He's going to do what he...
The minute Jake hits him with something significant, he's going to shake his shoulders and it's over. It's over. It's
and
over.
stare at us like he never signed that mad contract. Remember when we said that he take the knee? Remember we said that?
Take the knee. And take the knee and just be like, let's go again. It'd be insanity, fam. But you know what though? So, just to kind of move to it. AJ, Eddie Hearn's done an update on AJ. You mentioned it briefly when we were talking about something else.
Yeah.
That he's looking to fight, say January, February now, and it's looking like it's a Dillian White situation. What's your thoughts on that?
I told you, my man's become the gatekeeper, fam. This is gatekeeper energy. This ain't real. This ain't rebuild Dillian energy. This is we've got all we can from Dillian. It is what it is now. We're just gonna take what we can get because they tried to make Dillian Dubois. They tried to make Dillian. I feel like Dillian is throwing Dillian in. Dillian's the new Chisora. No disrespect to Chisora because he's managed that gate perfectly. Like man, them really had to announce themselves. You had to come through him before you can say you belong in this space. But 100%. To serve him up, again, this is what I call, this is serve man up, like put man on a platter. Because tell me how Dillian's got a new coach, yeah? Dillian's just come off a bad loss to Fury. He kind of looked good. It was bad. It wasn't good at all, yeah? And now say your next fight is against the A side who is trying to regain. He's on his rebuild journey. Even Eddie Hearn in other interviews have told us exactly how this is going to go. The road to redemption, baby. The road to winning back those titles. And this is the person you put first. This is the stage one boss. You're taking the piss. That means I have no intention.
He did say he goes, AJ has said that he doesn't want to have a tune-up. He doesn't want to go as far back to the top 15 as for a tune-up.
They're my fighters. I'm not putting them in that. Go on.
Isn't AJ saying he doesn't want to go that deep. He goes, we're looking at Dillian White, Otto Wallin's another name that's come up. Them men have sent a few offers in. So he goes, that's where we're going. But at the same time, he's like, Dillian White looks like the front runner. So that's where it looks like it's likely to land.
What's that guy that fought the Chinese guy that's really cool?
Zhang Zhu?
Yep, him. But who's the guy that fought him? Zhang. He fought Zhang.
Oh.
He is a robbery, but he won.
Hrgovic.
Why not Hrgovic? Feed up Hrgovic. That is a name. Again, I'm telling you, because there's Nate, bro. You can find the fight. It does not have to be Dillian. It does not, because I'm not putting my fighter.
Yeah, but you gotta remember that here, yeah. AJ is not. He's not strong. He's not strong armed by Eddie. Eddie can't say to him, "This is who you're gonna fight." So AJ is sitting in there, and they're having a chat eye to eye, and he's saying, "How about him?" And he's like, "Let's go, Dillian." Like AJ has a voice in these combos.
Now, and I'm with you. Just to push back on this one, yeah. AJ is now stepping in. He's not the AJ of before, where he doesn't understand the business. AJ's a promoter, yeah? And if I just imagine AJ said to me, yo, and I'm Eddie Hearn. He said, hey, what about Dillian? I said, AJ, come on, bro. Promoter to promoter now. That doesn't make sense. I'm trying to rebuild him. You lot are both in. That's like saying I'm gonna get 258 fighters that are coming off losses, and I'm gonna make them battle it out. When I know one is clearly ahead, and the other one took a bad loss over there. He lost to Fury. Bad. I'm not gonna, because I understand you's a fighter. I want to talk to you as the promoter. You're not doing this to anyone in 258. So why does this make sense? For me, this is madness. And again, I'd rather have two active heavyweights that I can say I can build up and we can get the trilogy. But to give us a trilogy now.
But look at it like this, though. I hear what you're saying. But look at it like this now. Like what you said at the beginning of this conversation. Yes. Dillian Whyte doesn't have the same ranking in as far as Hearn. Hearn doesn't look at Dillian Whyte as a potential world champion anymore. So now it is the level below. Yeah. So you say you got the 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're in that 5, 6, 7, 8
gatekeeper
tier, and that's where gatekeepers are. Yeah. Like you're either on your way up in that category or you're on the way down. If you're on your way down, then it's gatekeeper settings. So right now, that's what Dillian is. So for Dillian, this is a roll of the dice to get me out of this. If I manage to catch AJ, clip him and beat him, I'm back into the top 4. I'm
going to say to you, how realistic is that?
No, for me, I would not bet any money on that. I don't have faith in that outcome at all. But you got to remember, in boxing, anything can happen. Yeah.
No.
Let's be real. Anything can happen. I would bet good money on AJ beating him.
A wicked uppercut. AJ throws a sound, not even oh my god. AJ's uppercut is wicked. Yeah, it's again, it's brilliant. Yeah, I'm not doing that to Dillian. I'm saying to Dillian, look, bro, I hear it. Dubois coming soon, and as soon as you fight Dubois, yeah, like it or not, it takes you out. I know that gatekeeper. Remember what we say about Chisora? We always said we'd love to see Chisora fight for a world title again. We always said that thing, right? And the more we see him on the rebrand, and this is unfair, bro. My man's in his start of the new rebrand with the new fighter, and we could almost get into the new Dillian, you know, because the body snatcher, he's allowed a rebrand. He's allowed one, and we're saying, you know what? Ban all that, bro. Now's the time. And I get there's more fights after that, but then you start to say to yourself, well, he got mashed up by him, and it's not good. These are not good. At least let them build up confidence, because again, there's still a lot more money. I believe there's a lot more money left in the Dillian tank. So why would we waste it in this moment now?
They know how much money is there in it, and they're making decisions based on what they know.
Yeah.
Right? You're assuming there's more.
No, there's more.
But losing to AJ doesn't kill the money. Losing to a Hrgovic, losing to a Joe Joyce,
you can beat them, man. You can put you in with Joe. We can put you in with Joe Joyce. Money.
Listen to what I'm saying, bro.
I'm hearing
Joe Joyce, and the money is dead.
Joe Joyce doesn't have numbers, you know.
You lose to AJ, you're still Dillian Whyte, bro. You're still in the 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Let's be real. Let's be very real here.
You're true. Now you're before. Remember, I say it in his paper.
No, it's now. No, it's not.
Now you're true. You're true. You're now the true. What do you call it? You now become you now become the true gatekeeper. You see,
he is that right now.
No, but wait. No, this is between again me and you having this boxing conversation, and he could see us and punch us up and say you couldn't a gatekeeper, and we say you can't call, because he could almost refute the claim that we're calling him a gatekeeper, and I say you know what, you have grounds for argument here. You have good grounds for argument. Now, you see with this next one, it's clear. This is your role now. Before you're not, at the moment, it's argue. Someone else could sit on the other side and argue. You now nail this one down and say, yo, this is your position in this division. And I'm not doing that to him. No way. When we get to rebrand and become the new guy, nah. This ain't happening. Someone that is even I will pay £20 to watch him fight Ruiz. I'll pay £20 to watch him fight Joe Joyce. And these are fights that you have a higher potential winning. Wilder, he has got so much cachet. But I'm saying to you, I don't care because that's the guy I care about. It's giving Lyndon Arthur, Frank Warren. It's giving Lyndon Arthur, Yard. And when Frank Warren's in there, say, so when are you gonna fight him again? It's giving that, bro. That's all I'm getting from this situation. Listen, Dillian, I'm talking to you direct. Don't do it, bro. Don't even sign that thing, fam. Rebrand, get busy, because the same way AJ didn't want to go straight back in with Fury, he was advised. They said, yo, this is stupid. Have the same sense for yourself.
Hold on. You don't know that's how that thing went, though.
Someone didn't want the fight to happen. I'm just saying, whoever was the person that said that was clever said, you know what? We don't need to go this route. Someone, please let them words go to my man. Let them words go to Dillian and say, big man, that fight, the people love you too. That fight is your Kell Brook thingy. It can happen whenever. You lot will sell out if you book that fight to happen in 2024, yeah, we're watching. We're all coming. So why are you doing it now?
Well, it's not the truth, though. How old is Dillian Whyte now, bro? You forget that factor. It doesn't just go on forever.
I hear it, but I'm not.
You understand? It doesn't just go on forever.
I hear it, Dillian. Don't do it, Dillian. Don't do it.
Anyway, Tyson Fury has sold around 50,000 tickets for the fight with Chisora. What do you think on that?
I don't know, bro. I feel like it's crazy because ain't that reseller tickets, or is that official? Like, what's the situation?
I think there might be some StubHub play, but you know, as of right now, to us, it's just ticket sales. For me,
how much is fill out the stadium? What's the full house? What's the full capacity? Because
I don't know if they're extending it to the 90 for is that what they did for Front?
Spurs, what do you call it? Spurs.
Oh, Spurs Stadium. Shame. Okay, I don't know the capacity for that. But it's
62,000 raw, 62,850. How much is sold?
50. So it's gonna sell out. It's gonna sell out. My thing is, I feel like he's the only person in this modern era of boxing that goes on the ticket sales as if they're as in the same way that we talk about pay-per-views. Because do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, maybe I'm just out on my own on this, but I'm like, what other fighters and venues do we talk about the capacity of the seats?
Yeah, it's a bit mad, but then again, remember, you sometimes, as you said, you spoke about it early. So just to harken back to it, you spoke about that thing with promoters, that promoter conversation. I have to condition you into thinking a certain way about me. I have to condition you to say, people pay for me, I'm valuable. I have to condition you into knowing my value, right? And that's all he's taking us through on this journey is conditioning. And then we start now, it's a thing where you hear it so many times, it has to be true. Again, Clarissa's not the first one to fight, but she's the first one to call herself the GOAT, and she's that now. Now, everyone will be the GOAT after her. She's the inception of this thing, right? And Layla was probably thinking, no, I'm the GOAT. I did the GOAT. Remember, Layla was mad. She didn't coin the phrase, babes. So now it's like, you're not, until we say things over and over again, it becomes true, right? And this is what he's doing. All he's doing is, because you want the people in Dubai and all these people that are gonna pay for these fights, you have to teach them. This is you have to teach them that, right? And that's all he's doing. He's putting in the work. You're never hearing about the pay-per-view spend, but then by the time you work all of that out, I've made all my money and I've cut.
Yeah, I'm already gone.
You know what I mean? I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? And then after, again, for audiences as well, they're now saying to themselves, well, it's sold out. We have to be there, right? Like, everyone knows it, not even to take the piss. When we do our show, that's coming, Bloomsbury Theatre, quick little plug for that.
Yeah.
I promise you, the people that, because you're going to see the footage and say, my goodness, I could have bought my ticket.
I could have been there.
And it's too late. And then after, because I know what's going to happen, closer to the thing, can you get me in, please? My phone's off.
Bro.
Phone's off. It's on you. The tickets are, again, right now, go and buy the tickets now. The tickets are available now, but it's going to be too late. And it happens every single time. I've watched this over and over again. When you have the opportunity and then you finally realize, mate, it's too late. And now it's too late. You missed out. That's the game of it. And I'm not even saying this out of just trying to big up ourselves. I know what we're going to do on that night. And I know after that, yo, you know what I mean? I know what we're going to do. It's not going to be like some dead undercard or something rubbish. We're going to turn up again. And we'll, like, when people will be in there, they'll see it. Again, Fury is showing us through this thing. Keep saying the numbers, say the numbers, say the numbers. Say you're better than AJ. Say your A side. Say your A side. And now it's like, and now even when they even link him, someone tried it to now put his name next to Ali.
Yeah,
like, you're even higher up. His style similar, huh? So now look at the people that you say are your age mates.
Yeah.
Insane. But then people like us will always be there to say, "No, you know."
Nonsense.
You are an absolute disgrace.
That's why we're here to push back, fam. No, real talk. I've enjoyed this episode, fam. We don't know what we're gonna call it.
It's been a fun one still.
It's a fun one. Listen, people, I hope you enjoy it too. Get your tickets. If you heard anything, get your damn tickets. Get your tickets. Listen, don't call my phone. Get your tickets. 27th. The number is all there. If you're really supporting us, yeah. Again, how long's this been going for? How long been going with this podcast?
3.5 years, I think, bro.
3.5 years. Very rare. We ain't asked you to come support us on a show like this ever before.
This is
the one. I want to be able to say great defeat is in the house, and I hear a madness. I want to be able, because Travis has said it at his show. It was dope. I ain't never got to say it. I want to say great defeaters, and I hear something. I'm like, raw, like that. £20, man. Buy a ticket for you and your person. Come see us. You and your friend, whoever it is, bring somebody in it. All right, people. That's our time. We're out of here. Till next time. Let us know if there's things you disagree with. Come at us in the chat or come at us on a Monday. Yeah, come out on Monday. Yeah.
All right. Cool. See you guys on Monday.
Peace. Yo, people, thanks for watching the Undefeated podcast. Make sure you
like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and all that good stuff, man. This is the place to be.